The rain fell like cold silver needles, soaking the broken streets of the old Earth city. The skies were always gray now, ever since the Great Arrival. That was when the aliens came, not with war, but with silence and sorrow. They had lost their world. Earth had become their last hope. Ryen walked alone with a heavy pack on his shoulder. His boots splashed through the puddles. He wasn't a soldier, not anymore. He was just a healer now, a human who had seen too much pain, too much death. The government let the alien refugees live in the lower districts, far from the clean towers of the humans. Ryen still went there every week. He didn't expect to hear the cry. "Please, somebody, please help my mom." He turned fast. The voice was small, frightened, a child's voice, but not human. Standing in the pouring rain was a thin, alien child. She had pale purple skin and glowing green eyes, wide with tears. Her clothes were torn, her tiny hands trembling. Ryen dropped his pack. "What's wrong?" he asked, already kneeling. The child's lips quivered. "My mom. She won't stop shaking. She fell, and now she's cold. I don't know what to do." "What's your name?" he asked gently, wrapping his jacket around her. "Niiri," she whispered. "Okay, Niiri, take me to her." She grabbed his hand, her small fingers clutching tight, and led him through broken alleys and twisted metal until they reached a crumbling bunker. Inside, it was dark and smelled of rust and damp earth. Ryen's flashlight cut through the gloom. There, on the floor, was a woman. Her skin was the same soft purple as Niiri's, but now her limbs were stiff, her eyes fluttering. Her breathing was shallow, and her body shook like leaves in a storm. Ryen rushed to her side. "Is she your mother?" Niiri nodded, eyes wet with fear. "Her name is Aeleya." Ryen touched her wrist. "She's burning up. But she's not sick. Not like a human gets sick." His heart raced. He had seen something like this before. Some alien species reacted badly to Earth's oxygen if their body was under stress. But this looked worse. "She needs warmth. And a stabilizer. I have something in my pack." Niiri sniffled, sitting close. "Will she die?" "No," Ryen said softly, squeezing her hand. "Not if I'm here." Ryen worked fast. He pulled a small metal case from his pack, his emergency field kit. The warmth inside the bunker was poor, but he unrolled a heated blanket and wrapped Aeleya gently in it. Her body was trembling so much it made Niiri flinch. Every time she looked. "She wasn't like this morning," Niiri whispered. "We had breakfast, and she smiled at me. But then she went outside to find water, and when she came back, she just dropped." Ryen nodded, examining Aeleya's pulse again. The cold rain probably triggered something. Her species might be sensitive to it. "I've seen this before, just not this severe." He loaded a small syringe with a glowing blue fluid, modified plasma serum designed to calm alien nervous systems. It was experimental, not approved, but it was all he had. He paused, glancing at Niiri. "I need to inject this into her. It might hurt for a moment." Niiri didn't move. "Just save her. Please." Ryen nodded and pushed the serum into Aeleya's arm. Her body jolted slightly. A sharp gasp escaped her lips, but slowly her shaking began to ease. Not stop completely, but slow, like a storm losing strength. Ryen sat back, breathing hard. "That's a start." Niiri crawled closer, resting her forehead against her mother's hand. "She's warmer." Ryen opened a thermal canister and poured warm broth into a tin cup. "She'll need this when she wakes up. Her body has to recover energy." "You're a good human," Niiri said softly. "The others never come down here." "I'm not like them," Ryen replied. "I lost my little brother during the first evacuation. If someone had helped him, maybe he'd still be here." Niiri blinked. Is that why you help us? He gave a faint smile. Maybe. Or maybe I just can't stand watching people, any people, suffer. Aeleya let out a soft sigh. Her lips moved faintly. Ryen leaned in. Niiri? She said my name. Niiri beamed, tears running down her cheeks. Ryen checked Aeleya's forehead. She's stabilizing, but she'll need rest, food, and constant warmth. I'll stay with you both tonight. Niiri hugged him. It caught Ryen off guard. Her tiny arms, thin and cold, wrapped around his neck tightly. Thank you, she whispered. In that moment, Ryen didn't feel alone anymore. Not a broken man, not a former soldier, just a human doing what he was meant to do. Get some sleep, Niiri, he said gently. I'll keep watch. She curled up beside her mother, her breath slow and steady. Ryen sat nearby, his eyes never leaving them. The world outside was dark and cruel, but here in this small ruined bunker, there was warmth, there was hope. Morning light crept through the cracks in the bunker's walls, faint and golden. Dust floated lazily in the air, stirred by Ryen's soft movements. He hadn't slept. Every few minutes he checked Aeleya's breathing, her temperature, her heartbeat. He couldn't risk losing her, not after Niiri's pleading cry had brought him here. Aeleya stirred. Her eyes fluttered open, glowing faintly green. For a moment, confusion passed over her face, then pain, then fear. Ryen raised a calming hand. It's okay. You're safe now. She blinked slowly. Her lips parted, voice a low whisper. Who are you? I'm Ryen. A human healer, he said, gently placing a cup of warm broth near her lips. Your daughter found me. She saved you. Aeleya's gaze moved weakly toward Niiri, who was still asleep with her head resting against her mother's arm. A small smile touched Aeleya's lips. My brave child. You were close to neural collapse, Ryen explained. Exposure to the rain and stress overwhelmed your nervous system. I used an experimental stabilizer. It worked. But your recovery will take time. Aeleya looked at him for a long, quiet moment. You risked much for a stranger. I don't see strangers when someone's suffering, he replied softly. She sipped the broth, her hands trembling but steadier. Most humans fear us. They call us invaders, even though we fled destruction. Ryen looked down. A lot of humans are afraid of anything different. I used to be one of them. What changed? My brother died in the early days of the arrival. He tried to help a wounded alien, got caught in the crossfire. Nobody helped him. I swore then I'd never turn my back on another life, alien or not. Aeleya nodded slowly. Then your heart is a rare one. Niiri stirred beside her and rubbed her eyes. When she saw her mother awake, she gasped with joy and hugged her tightly. You're okay. You're really okay. I'm here, little star, Aeleya whispered, tears sliding down her cheeks as she embraced her daughter. Ryen turned away to give them a moment, pretending to fuss with his pack. But their love. It filled the room with warmth stronger than any heater. Ryen, Aeleya called gently, please sit with us. He hesitated, then moved closer, sitting cross-legged beside them. You've already done more than we could ever repay, she said softly. But may I ask something else? Anything. Aeleya's voice trembled with emotion. Don't leave us alone again. Ryen looked into her eyes, those soft, glowing eyes filled with exhaustion, strength, and something else. A fragile, tender trust. I won't, he promised. I'll stay, as long as you need me. Niiri grinned, leaning against him. You're part of us now. He smiled, ruffling her hair. A strange peace settled over him. For the first time in years, something deep inside began to heal, not from medicine, not from logic, but from something simple and old, connection. The days passed quietly, like soft wind over broken glass. Ryen stayed in the bunker with Aeleya and Niiri, fixing what he could, patching walls with scrap metal, rigging up a solar panel to power a heat lamp, even scavenging clean blankets and food from old supply drops. Each evening, they shared small meals together, huddled close under the flickering light. Aeleya's strength returned little by little. The shaking in her limbs faded, and her voice grew stronger. She laughed now. Light, delicate laughter that made Ryan's chest feel warm. And when she looked at him, really looked, it wasn't with fear or caution anymore. It was something gentler. "You're still here," she said one evening as the sky outside burned orange with sunset. "I gave you my word," Ryen replied, handing her a piece of warm flatbread. "And I keep my promises." She took it with a soft smile. Her fingers brushed his, warm, soft, lingering for a heartbeat longer than needed. Niiri was drawing on the floor with a piece of old chalk. She had drawn 3 stick figures holding hands, a tall one, a small one, and one in between. She showed it proudly to Aeleya and Ryen. "That's us," she said, grinning. "We're a team now." Ryen chuckled. "Looks like I've been adopted." "You're more than that," Aeleya said quietly, eyes shining. "You saved our lives. That means something sacred to my people." Ryen looked at her uncertain. "I was just doing what's right." "But you didn't have to. And you still did." Silence fell between them. Comfortable. Warm. Outside, rain began to fall again. Light this time, like whispers. Later after, Niiri fell asleep. Aeleya sat close to Ryen. Her movements were graceful now. Her strength almost fully returned. She wore a shawl he'd repaired for her, and her glowing eyes looked at him with a mixture of gratitude and something deeper. "There's something I want you to know," she said softly. "In my culture, when someone saves your life, they are bound to your soul." Ryen turned to her. "Bound how?" "It doesn't mean slavery or duty," she explained. "It means trust. It means we share something no one else can ever break. A bond that is intimate." Ryan's breath caught in his chest. "You feel that way about me?" "I do," she whispered. "But I won't ask for more than you can give. You've already given us so much." He reached out, taking her hand gently in his. "You don't have to ask. I feel it too." Her eyes widened slightly, and a small, trembling smile touched her lips. "Then, you'll stay? As long as you'll have me." She leaned her head on his shoulder, her hand holding his tightly. Outside, the storm faded. Inside, something beautiful bloomed quietly, like light breaking through after years of darkness. That night, peace settled in the bunker like a soft blanket. The rain had stopped. The sky above was clear, stars glittering like cold diamonds. Inside it was quiet, only the hum of the heat lamp and the soft breathing of Niiri as she slept. Curled up in a nest of blankets, Ryen sat beside Aeleya, their hands still joined. She leaned against him, her head resting near his chest, listening to his heartbeat. He could feel her warmth, the slow rise and fall of her breathing. It was calm, real, intimate. "I used to dream of Earth before I ever saw it," Aeleya whispered. "I imagined it full of music and soft colors, not broken buildings and fear." Ryen ran his fingers gently through her hair. "It used to be better. But maybe it still can be." She looked up at him. "Because of people like you?" "No," he said softly. "Because of people like us." Aeleya smiled, her eyes glimmering. "You speak as though you see us as equals." "I do. Maybe even more than that," he said, brushing a strand of hair from her cheek. "You're not just surviving, Aeleya. You're strong. You're beautiful. And I care about you. Her breath caught. For a moment, silence stretched between them, heavy, with emotion. Then she leaned in slowly, and their lips met, gentle, uncertain, but full of something raw and true. When they parted, her cheeks were flushed with soft violet color. I didn't think I'd ever feel safe again, she murmured. But with you, I feel alive. Ryen cupped her face. You are alive, and you're not alone. She wrapped her arms around him, burying her face in his neck. He held her close, feeling the last of her trembling finally fade away. By morning, the world had changed. Not the broken streets or fallen towers, but something inside them. Niiri woke up and ran over, hugging both of them at once. You stayed, she cheered, laughing. I'll always stay, Ryen said, pulling her into his arms. Aeleya touched his shoulder and whispered something in her native tongue, soft and melodic. What did you say? He asked. She smiled. It means, with your heart, you warmed the coldest part of me. They stepped out into the sunlight together, 3 souls walking into the ruins of a broken earth. But now, with love, with purpose, with hope. The war had taken much, but it had not taken everything. In the end, a child's cry had brought them together, and one human's heart had saved them all.